And every time they made those accusations, we turn around and find out that at least some of them are guilty of the same shit. I don't know about y'all, but I'm sick of all of it. I'm sick of all of it. They've actually made Donald Trump look like he was right instead of them.
Hello and welcome back to Humble Not Timid. We appreciate y'all and everybody who's been showing their support over the past few weeks as we getting this channel jump started for the next year to come. Okay. I got a few topics to talk about today, and some of them a little bit funny to me, and then some of them not so funny. So, appreciate y'all. Thank y'all very much for the likes and subscribes. Keep on watching. And 2025 right around the corner. We're here to stay, so get ready to see what we do. We're ready to grow, and invite y'all to grow with us. Humble Not Timid, another voice.
Getting mad at me, player, but they ain't taking my place. And I'm a misbreed, homie, so they hate my race. Or maybe I'm just ugly, so they hate my face. Either way it go, homie, take the hating away. Now I'm suited in my armor, and I'm just ready to play. So now put me in coach, cause I'm just ready to play. See, I'm so drunk, I ain't going nowhere. I'm so drunk, I'm right here, right here. I'm so drunk, nowhere.
All right, y'all. So we're gonna start this episode off talking about, Stephen A. Now I know everybody knows Stephen A. You watch ESPN, if you know anything about sports, or if you know even a little bit, you know who Stephen A. is. Everybody knows who Stephen A. is. But over the past weeks, he's been actually over the past few months, whatnot, he's been talking about the politics side of things. You know what I'm saying? Now, excuse me. He got into it over the past week or two, whatever, with one of his friends, Roland. Now, I don't know either one of the gentlemen personally. I watched a little bit of Roland's things, and I watched Stephen A., especially on, throughout ESPN, his career and whatnot, and I am a fan of Stephen A. to a point, even though he hate on my Cowboys, you know, but I am a fan of him because, he does keep it, at least he try to keep it unbiased, except for when it comes to his 49ers, but, for the most part, he does. He's a good analyst. He's real analytical. He breaks down situations, and especially when it comes to sports, he's real great at his job. But at the same time, too, though, he started speaking about politics here lately. Now, he's an American, so just like any other American, you have the right to say what you want to say about politics. I agree with the man throughout that. There's nothing you can tell any American. You don't have the right to tell another American to shut up about how they feel when it comes to any political situation, because that has to do with all of us. Okay, so I'm gonna let them show you exactly what's going on here a little bit. But Roland pretty much told him shut up, stay in your lane, and quit talking, because I guess politics is Roland's thing, so he's the master of all things. But whatnot, whatever. But who am I? Nah, I'm a nobody, right? But it makes no never mind. I'm an American. So, Stephen A., I got your back on that one, buddy. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into it, and we're going to let you see a little bit of what they're talking about.
Go. With that being said, I want to address some recent comments from my friend Roland Martin, who took issue with my thoughts this past weekend on the Justice Department's report on the January 6th Capitol riots in 2021. In summary, I made the connection that Donald Trump appeared to be right to some degree when it came to the conspiracy theories about the FBI's involvement on that day. At least that's how some took it. Well, here's what Roland Martin had to say Monday about my comments on his show, Roland Martin Unfiltered. Take a listen.
I have no idea what the hell Stephen A. was just talking about. I know Stephen A. I respect Stephen A. Stephen A., you know sports. On this, you know what the hell you talking about. Like, I literally have no idea what the hell he was talking about there. How he's pissed off, and the Democrats, and Trump said stuff was rigged. And y'all, MAGA is running that clip everywhere. Oh, they are saying, oh, see, even Stephen, the truth, they all know the truth. Go to my iPad. Associated Press, Fact Focus, Inspector General's January 6th report misrepresented as proof of FBI setup. The basis of what the right has been saying is that January 6th was fine, it was great, it was wonderful, but the FBI, it was a setup. The FBI, they were behind the whole deal. They were agents. They were the ones who were starting stuff. That's the report. And so when Stephen A. is going on and they sat here making Trump out to be true. No, he lied. He lied.
Now you see Stephen A. He gonna defend himself, which I mean we all know Stephen A. ain't gonna shut up for nobody. You know what I mean? They not give the man respect for that. You know what I'm saying? You stand on what you said. Now whether it's left or right, like the man, you know, you'll hear him say throughout his episode that he gives there, and I'm gonna leave the links to everything, you know, to the sources of my stories and everything down in the bottom, everything I talk about. I'll leave it down in the descriptions for you. But at the same time too, though, we all know Stephen A. ain't gonna shut his mouth. You know, he ain't gonna cower down. Now, there's a difference between a man coming out and saying, hey, look, I had some facts wrong on the last story. I'm going to fix them up and restate what I had wrong. And a man cowering out. So he don't cower out. But he do turn around and, you know, and he defends himself. And then you see Roland Martin there, you know what I'm saying? He comes out and then he gives his little fact focus check and all that. And let me tell you something. First of all, you can go check that website out yourself and look at the information and all that. You know, me, myself, personally, I usually don't take 100%, you know, accept 100% truth from websites that have, you know, the ads and stuff right there on the front of the articles. To me, for some reason, it just always seems like some pop-ups or something, you know, but whatever. So this is where Roland gets his information from that he wants to scream about, talking about, you know, oh, Donald Trump lied, but whatever. But the thing is he's actually reacting to a previous episode that Stephen A. Head did. And I'm going to let you go ahead and catch a glimpse of that, of what that is, okay? Here we go.
News comes amidst a bombshell report from the Justice Department that revealed the FBI had at least 26 confidential informants on the ground when the Capitol was stormed on January 6, 2021. The report says most of the informants engaged in illegal activity during the chaos. The Justice Department says only 3 of its 26 informants present had been instructed to observe potential domestic terrorist suspects on the day of the riot. The rest of the 23 appeared to have gone to the Capitol on their own accord. Upon hearing news of the report, Vice President-elect J.D. Vance posted the following on X, quote, "For those keeping score at home, this was labeled a dangerous conspiracy theory months ago," end quote. Didn't hear anything about that for the election. Didn't hear anything about that when the quote-unquote insurrection was broached by Vice President Kamala Harris as the Democratic nominee. The belief that Donald Trump was a danger to democracy and using this as a profound, illuminating bullet point to make that case. And now here we are yet again finding even more evidence to Donald Trump's claims when he articulated that the process is rigged. My big issue is that I'm really, really sick and tired of every time I turn around finding something else that the Democrats have lied about or downplayed or misrepresented along the way. I mean, I see Republicans like Megyn Kelly or Officer Tatum or Candace Owens or, you know, the Sean Hannitys of the world. You know what I'm getting tired of? You know what I'm getting to the Democratic Party? You know what I'm getting really pissed off about? I'm getting really ticked off at every time they open their mouth about something pertaining to y'all, they seem right to make the case that the right had a monopoly on insidious, evil tendencies, corrupt tendencies, duplicitous, hypocritical, untruthful tendencies. And every time they made those accusations, we turn around and find out that at least some of them are guilty of the same shit. I don't know about y'all, but I'm sick of all of it. I'm sick of all of it. They've actually made Donald Trump look like he was right.
In that episode, that previous episode, I seen that one also, and he frustrated because, you see them come out and they put out this report, and pretty much in the gist of it is pretty much saying that, that there was 25 FBI assets within the crowd that stormed on January 6th, stormed the Capitol. But, and the thing that cracks me up even about Stephen A. is the fact that he sits there and says, oh, nobody heard nothing about it. You didn't hear nothing about it. You didn't hear nothing about that before the election. You didn't hear nothing about that before the election. But at the same time, too, though, they're acting like wasn't nobody talking about this. I mean, there was actually an interview that was done by Tucker Carlson with Congressman Clay Higgins about, maybe 10, 11 months ago, where he speaks with Higgins, and it's pretty lengthy, pretty decent, interview. And he speaks with him, and Higgins, he tells me, there's things that I can't speak about, that the evidence that I've seen, but there's certain things that he does let out. And like he even sits there and he states that, there was evidence that he said he can go on, he felt comfortable going on record stating that there was at least 200. Can't give an exact number, but there's at least 200 assets. Now, that doesn't mean that they're FBI agents exactly or whatnot, whatever. They could be informants. They could just be people on the payroll that FBI uses or whatnot, or whatever. It doesn't matter. But the fact is that it doesn't matter if it's 200 or 25. The fact that you had any role to play in that is an issue. Now, even with that said, I still I think personally that they're just trying to bring all this back up anyways, because just like everything else that you see out there in the news right now, they're just trying to make it hard for Trump before he comes in. You've seen Biden and them, they're almost trying to get us all on the edge of World War III. They're doing everything they can to just mess up the economy. They're trying to put all the bumps out there. And what kills me, man, is that I honestly feel like they've gotten to a point where they say, you know what, America, y'all didn't vote for us, so screw y'all. Screw y'all. Y'all go do. We're just gonna come and we're gonna be y'all's enemies. And anybody on our side is cool, and the rest of y'all are just like whatever. And the majority of America voted for Trump. So that means that them and their side and their party or whatnot is pretty much just gonna say screw us. But I'm gonna let you see a piece of this Tucker Carlson interview that he did with Clay Higgins, okay?
When you say that there were FBI assets in the crowd, in the building beforehand and certainly outside, what's the scale of this? Are you talking like 10, 20?
No. So real hard, objective, and conservative estimates would put the number of FBI assets in the crowd, outside, and working inside at well over 200.
200?
Yeah. Yeah.
You have seen evidence, and that spurred your questions to Chris Wray, that there were FBI assets dressed as Trump supporters within the Capitol. So that is proof of entrapment, because, of course, the federal government could have prevented entry into the Capitol building. There aren't that many doors. You work there, But they allowed people in on purpose to entrap them. That's what that proves, I think. Does it not?
Well, it's certainly condemning. It's another piece of the strategy that the that the government employed to sort of complete the entrapment of Americans that they had infiltrated and then prodded and provoked with online with those original seeds planted of actions like, what type of gear to wear and just in language that incited behavior that could go the wrong way.
Now you see Higgins sitting here talking about this entrapment and allegedly, right? But if they did mess around and I mean, I don't care if it was even just one FBI asset that was used to do such a thing. That means y'all did it. It doesn't matter if it's 25, it doesn't matter if it's 200, it doesn't matter if it's one. Now, whether or not you believe Higgins or not, that's on you. Everybody's going to have their own opinions and their own thoughts on things, But the fact is the man came out and did an interview, stated that there was evidence. There was an ongoing investigation at the time of the interview, that there was certain information that wasn't even allowed to be spoken about. And now we're at a point where, you see Stephen A. coming out talking about, there's 25 and they lied to us. We didn't hear nothing about that. But that's the whole point. You did hear, there was things. You probably didn't hear nothing about that. A lot of people out there probably didn't hear nothing about that because a lot of people didn't want to pay attention. Now, don't get me wrong. See, they keep on trying to make it about a race thing. And the thing is I don't care if you black or white. I'm not going to sit here and let you just try to destroy us. It's not going to happen. Me personally would not let you come into my home to destroy me on purpose. I'm not going to sit back and just take it. And there's a lot of people out there that won't. So that's the reason why everybody's sitting there speaking up now. And Stephen A., I give you props, brother, what I'm saying? She pounded, you know what I mean? But at the same time, too, though, there's a lot more people that need to stay. What cracks me up is you sat there and you seen Obama talking about the woken and the awakening, right? In that speech. But I really feel like a lot of them on the side of what they call the left are really in a trance, and they're in a trance to where they sit there and they say that Trump people are delusional. And don't get me wrong, you got some delusional people out there. I mean, I get it, because no man is God to me. No man's words 100% is just going to be automatic. Okay, I'm going to take every word you say and just run with it. When I analyze your words, break them down, you know what I'm saying, and interpret them as best as I can in my own mental state to get to a point where I have a decent understanding of where you're standing at. And then you got real great liars out there. They can manipulate very well. Now, I myself not no perfect man, but at the same time too, though, I'm not. God gave me a decent brain to use, and I'm going to use it to the best of my abilities. Now, check out exactly what he says here next, though.
Those guys in, said, "Come on, follow us," and they're the ones that led them on the path directly. How do you think a guy's never been to the Capitol, gonna come into the Capitol all amped up on emotion, and make his way straight to Nancy Pelosi's office? Come on. It's like I couldn't get it. There's no way. I've been there for 7 years. Could come in some random door at the Capitol and make my way to Nancy Pelosi's
Everything is
office.
unmarked. I mean, those leadership offices are unmarked. So how would you know
It's
that?
confusing to
That's
get
right.
around in the Capitol. Every American that has been there knows this. When you go on a tour, you bring your family to D.C., you go through the Capitol, you have to have a guide. And on January 6th, the guides were FBI assets, the law enforcement assets, and they were dressed as Trump supporters. They were positioned inside the Capitol prior to the doors being opened so that the Americans that had assembled outside the Capitol, once allowed in, could be brought directly to the areas where the FBI and the DOJ and the deep state actors knew would be the most sort of condemning criminal action of Americans being inside the Capitol, protesting without permit and things. So they knew they were setting the stage for arrest and prosecution.
It's such a crime.
See, so according to the way Higgins is speaking there, he's talking about that they pretty much set it up so then that way they can make the Magnum movement at the time look like the bad guys. They wanted them to look like the bad guys. That way they could turn around and they could say, "Oh, look at what they did," and then that way, them moving forward, everything that they do from that point on looks like there's nothing wrong with it. And here we are now, 4 years later, and you see a lot of Democrats, man. You know, you see they lost the election. They A lot of them feel like they got lied to, and then you still got a lot of them that they don't care. They got straight lied to, and they still don't care. They still gonna be like, okay, lie to me some more, and they just gonna take it. I mean, that sound like one of them bad relationship type of deals, Like, I mean, you want to stay with me, you gonna have to fix it. You gonna have to fix yourself. I'm gonna have to fix myself, whatever it is. But you can't. You better put God back in the situation, like for real. You seen Obama in his speech. I don't know if you paid attention to that speech, but you seen him in there. He said he was wrestling with organized religion. I think in all honesty, he was wrestling with his own spiritual status at the time. You call yourself a Christian, I get it. We all wrestle with it sometimes. But at the same time, too, you better put your faith back in there. You better go stand back on that rock. Fall on the rock and get crumbled. Don't let it crumble you. Don't let it crush you. But, Higgins ain't dumb. None of these men, none of these people are just straight idiots. They're not conspiracy. Look, you could say worse about me than you could about these men because, I mean, who am I? Oh, this guy here. But then at the same time, too, though, these men, they're professional men. This is a congressman, and Carlton, Carl Tucker, I'm sorry, Carlson. He actually been around the block a few times, done a few interviews, been out there in the political field, what I mean? He's made his enemies. He's gotten his fight. So, these ain't rookies just talking. This ain't just us on the block or us in the workroom having a conversation thinking, we understand all of it.
Cover ages FBI would have in a situation like that, but J6 was the final act prior to arrest and prosecution of Americans that were identified as Trump supporters. I mean, their objective was to destroy the entire MAGA movement, to forever stain the patriotic fervor that was associated with the America First MAGA movement that had won in 2016 and we believe won again in 2020. And the establishment on both sides, of both major parties, were determined to smash that out of existence, not just by defeating Trump, but by destroying the reputations of the movement itself, by creating this narrative that was totally false, but was heavily pushed, that MAGA Republicans, America First Republicans, are somehow a danger to our republic and a domestic terror threat, which is a whole nother story about what the FBI has done to tagging Americans as suspected domestic terrorists. And
So, like I said, you seen him just sit there and say, the whole point was just to destroy. The whole point is to destroy the spirit of America. Like that's really what it is. I'm at a point now where I watch these people. I'm watching the tactics, of certain news companies and certain organizations, and I'm really like it makes me worried, man, because it's like, why do y'all not care about our country? I really feel like a part of them is not even that they don't care about the Republicans. It's not that they want to take over the country. I feel like they really want globalism. They really want us to fall into a one world situation instead of having our actual country. I've seen them demonize words like nationalism, patriotism. And growing up, I wasn't no good guy. I ain't gonna lie. But at the same time, too, though, you grow up and you grow up. Sometimes some things you got to grow out of. That's their whole fight with the whole transgender thing. They say, "Hey, stop trying to destroy these kids when they're young. Let them grow up a little bit." And they grow up and they would get, 18 and older. They make the decisions they want in life. It is what it is. But at the same time, too, though, let them grow. You never know. They might grow out of it. So, and if they don't, well, then you know what? May God be with you and watch over you, But at the same time, too, though, you don't just destroy them while you're still in the growing process. You got to let it move to see how it goes. But you still got to watch out for our country, though. Now, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to this next topic. It's not as cool as this one, I guess you could say. It's not, that one's not even that cool either. But it's more of a serious note. So, Ted Cruz and a couple of his co-workers over there, they're trying to, on both sides of the aisle now. So I give them this much. Because on both sides of the aisle, they're trying to pass a bill called Take It Down. And I don't know, I want to say it hasn't passed yet, but I'm going to look into that, and move as we move forward. And then they want to get it passed, and it's about protecting our children, and it's going after, and not going after, but it's going to try to put tech companies in a position to where they have to actually pay attention when somebody says, "Hey, that's my child on there. I need you to take those images down." And instead of waiting weeks to a year to act, they go ahead and they force them. I believe it's 48 hours, or it's a federal offense if they don't take them down. Which I don't understand why you wouldn't want to take them down anyways. I mean, unless you got your own ill intentions, why would you not want to take down the child pornography? Doesn't make sense to me. Like even the AI generated stuff, like really, that's cute to you. That's cool. There's different moral standards to some of these people, and I understand it. I'm not gonna sit here and play like we brand new. We understand it. I grew up with some evil folks I done met in my life. You know what I'm saying? They have a whole different look on life. But Ted Cruz and them putting up a fight, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna check that out real quick, and we're gonna take a look into that.
Hour they were pulled down. Now, you know what? It should not take a sitting U.S. Senator or a sitting member of Congress to make a phone call to get this garbage down. Every victim should have the right to say, "That's me, that's my image, and you do not have my permission to put this garbage out there." And what the Take It Down Act does is it puts a legal obligation on any tech platform that when you are notified by a victim that it is non-consensual intimate images, you must take it down and take it down immediately. That is needed, and that is needed desperately. Now, where this bill is, it has passed the Senate. It has passed the Senate unanimously, 100-0. Amy and I worked on both sides of the aisle, Republicans and Democrats. Every single Democrat in the Senate supported, every single Republican in the Senate supported it. The bill has now gone over to the House. And we're here today where Maria is leading the fight in the House to get it done there. We're here today, all of us have spoken to House leadership, urging the House to take it up and pass it before the end of the year. There's a process the House has, something called the suspension calendar. And it's a process to take up bills and pass them very quickly on an expedited schedule. If this bill gets a vote in the House, it will pass. The only question is, will it get a vote or not? And so we're here today on behalf of the victims, on behalf of women, on behalf of teenage girls across this country to say, bring this up for a vote, pass it, and put it on the president's desk. We can get it done, and we can get it done before the end of the year.
Yes.
And with that, I want to introduce my partner in crime, Senator Amy Klobuchar.
All right, thank you.
So you see Ted Cruz and them, they're putting up this bill. And like I said, he said if it goes up, it's going to get passed. The only way it don't get passed is if it doesn't go for a vote. So you got people on both sides trying to get this thing passed. So, you know, I guess the real question at this point is, if it doesn't go, who is it that doesn't want it to go? And what would be the purpose? Like, I mean, unless y'all got some diabolical, y'all don't forget, we still got about 300,000 illegal immigrant children missing. I believe it's around 300,000, might be like 200,000. Don't get me lying on the number, but I know it's up there. And the thing about it is, though, is they're missing. And, you know, like the way my mind be working, I be wondering, like, you know, they say there's a whole organization of people going around there, you know, taking these kids and stuff. What if that's like some kind of way that, you know, they funnel them in real quick? I mean, 300,000 kids in one pop. Think about that, 3-4 years, that's one pop. That's quick lick right there. So, I don't know what to go for or whatnot, but I mean, if they out there making money on, they probably making a killing, and you know what, that's, because you got people who would sell you into slavery. Don't get it twisted. I'm talking to some folks that, you know what, they don't care about selling you in slavery, and in their mind, it's all about the money. They don't got no morals. Some people don't got no morals. You know, no standards, no nothing. And, you know, it is what it is. You got to accept that in life, or you won't survive. You have to be able to move around, maneuver around it. But you see, like they said, he put this bill. It took them months, and with one call from him, it took them a matter of moments, you know, compared to how long the child was waiting. Took them moments to take the thing down. So why didn't you just do that to begin with? And y'all wouldn't even be in the news right now being talked about, or have bills having to be passed against you, you know, as tech companies. Why wouldn't you just say, hey, that's that child, take it down. That's her child, that's his child, that's a little kid, take it down. Now, I understand the process. Somebody says, hey, that's me in there, I didn't do that. Okay, prove it. They prove it. Okay, take it down. Boom. Not 8 months. But let's go ahead. We're going to move forward just a little bit more.
Good morning, and it's a pleasure to be working with you, Senator Cruz, and with your colleague here. That I love the fact that this is a very bipartisan bill. It's just common sense. And I want to connect with the mothers. You know, I have 2 children, 24, 25, two daughters. And I can only picture that morning when you wake up and you understand that your child's image and likeness is being used with fake images of them naked, and the embarrassment and the sorrow and the sadness and the desperation. And like you were saying, Senator, that it took Snapchat 8 months to take those pictures down from Elliston, who I know is here. And it's like you said, we don't need to know anyone in the Senate or in the House of Representatives to call and demand from social media to bring those down, because they're a lie. They're not true.
Now, you see the Congresswoman right there. She's sitting there, and I like that little remark she made, you know, common sense, because it's not that common right now. And you know, it's not just the White House. It's not just the White House. It's not just politicians. You walk around the world right now, you talk to folks, and some things that you would think would make sense. And what's really crazy is the majority of people who don't understand common sense. It's not that common. I don't even know how they ended up with the phrase common sense for the fact that most people are stupid, you know. And I ain't gonna say stupid, but I did say stupid, but I don't mean stupid. Like, at the same time, like, you know, just their way of thinking, it's like they don't think things through, you know. Like, this right here, I really hope this right here is a slam dunk. 1, 2, 3, put it through, and we call it done. And come January, we ain't even talking about this no more. You know what I'm saying? Because this right here should just be a plain, simple save our children, save America's children. We won't. If we don't, we're going to end up with too many more victims than we've already had. And I mean, yeah, things will fall through the cracks as you move forward, but at the same time, too, though, you got to try to cut down the numbers of what's happening. So, otherwise we end up with more victims like this young lady.
Same process in the house. My name is Samantha McCoy, and during my junior year of college, I was physically attacked and raped by someone who swore to protect and serve the community. During the attack, the perpetrator began video recording the rape. It was only until I reported the rape and an investigation ensued that I discovered the perpetrator had disseminated the video to various sources, including social media sites and directly to people I knew. Being stalked, physically attacked, and sexually assaulted is traumatizing in and of itself. But the moment I realized that the video of the crime was circulating, a sense of pure despair and hopelessness set in. The perpetrator used the intimate imagery he took of his criminal act as a tool for further re-victimization. Taking advantage of social media platforms and other sites, he rapidly disseminated the worst moment of my life to an unknown yet vast audience. Once on the internet, all ability to prevent it from further spreading was lost. At the time, I was pursuing a career as a mental health therapist. Those dreams were immediately jeopardized when I thought of the potential of a future client or colleague coming across the video. All I could think of was everything that I had worked so hard for was all for nothing. My mental health spiraled. I stopped going to public places because I was inundated with obsessive thoughts that a person who stared at me for just a second too long must have seen the rape. I subsequently lost my job and my apartment shortly thereafter. Determined to find protection and ensure the video of the rape was not further disseminated, I sought to find out what laws existed. While many states, including Texas, where I'm from, have enacted laws to criminalize revenge porn and deepfake pornography, these laws vary vastly in the terms of classification of crime and penalty. I was shocked to find out that social media platforms were not responsible for removing intimate imagery, and that I had little to no recourse against these platforms. And most shockingly, I had little to no recourse against the perpetrator himself. I eventually channeled my anger into pursuing a career as an attorney so that I could represent those who have been through similar heinous acts.
No, there you go.
Thank you.
Thank you to not only Senator Ted Cruz, but Amy Klobuchar for hearing my story and giving me a voice. I also just want to thank God for turning this awful situation into something good. I mean, that morning when I woke up, it was one of the worst feelings I've ever felt. Feeling hopeless and feeling as if my entire innocence was stripped away. I mean, the unknown was so terrifying, and it was so hard to realize that this was my reality that I had to live with. And the student that did this to me got little to no punishment, a Class A misdemeanor that he is still able to attend school and walk around as if he didn't do anything. And that is one of the hardest pill to swallow, because he chose my fate and he is walking around. His record will be expunged by 18. It is so hurtful to know that my community and that my support and that I didn't have anything, because my images were not considered child pornography, even though they were. Although it was made with AI, it was 100% child pornography because it had the exact same feeling that it would have. This bill, the Take It Down Act, is so healing and so validating because it has heard my voice and all the many people that don't have the opportunity to share their story. Truly, it is such a privilege to be up here and to have these opportunities where I'm able to explain and share my story. And I just want to say another amazing thank you, because it is just so healing and so validating to know that my story is relevant. And there are so many cases all around the world. Millions of not only girls, but boys, teenagers, women, children are being harassed, and they are being targeted and victimized, and there's nothing out there that can help them and that can save them. And I remember feeling that hopelessness and just feeling terrified of what the future had to hold. But thanks to this Take It Down Act, we are able to give victims a voice. We are able to protect them, not only the future generations, but the survivors of this AI crime. And I just want to say thank you, and I urge the House to pass this bill immediately.
Now, I mean, they try to play it off that, the AI isn't child pornography, but, even at that, I guess if because you can do so much with AI these days, it's crazy. It's like, I mean, just doing this and starting to learn how to do these shows and everything, man, I'm finding out all the different things you can do with this technology, and it's crazy to me. because and it's really not that hard. Like, you know, like, I mean, like, I'm slow. I'm slow learning, but those who catch on pretty quick know exactly what they're doing and can do this, and this. That. I can see how they can take somebody's face image and then make a whole little animation thing, and then it's really not even just animation no more. Cause some of this AI look real, like it look real. But you know, that's still child pornography. I mean, if the kid's a kid, it's a kid, and I don't care about none of them arguments about, oh well, you know, in the 1800s and 19, you know, beginning of the 19s, we was marrying kids at 14 years old. No, don't nobody care about none of that. Okay, we have laws now. You know, at 18 you're grown. Somewhere along the line, somebody decided that, you know what, 14 years old, 16 years old is a little too young to just be marrying kids off and allowing them to be physically and emotionally damaged. So, you know, this and see, this thing is okay. So the kid, like the one woman that was speaking, the kid taking the video and then uploading it or sharing it or whatnot, that's bad. You know, it's bad. But a kid on kids thing, you can kind of almost understand to a point, because both children are children and they're, you know, both still not, they're both stupid. They haven't even grown up yet. That's the truth about it. But the people who run the websites that it's put on, these are supposed to be grown folks. So, you know, the grown folks is the ones that, you know, that'd be like two kids get into it and then they turn around and they go and they take some pictures of somebody or whatnot, you know, inappropriate pictures, and then they come and give them to me as a grown man, like, hey, here, look at this, and you know, I just take them, and instead of getting rid of them, destroying them, or you know, penalizing the kids somehow, you know, I just take them and be like, oh yeah, this is cool, and then I share them with everybody. That makes me more in the wrong, if you ask me, because I'm the grown man. So you can't do that, you know, you can't do that. But you know, like I said earlier, you know, I mean, it's a situation, a whole situation, because you got, and like I said, PBD did an interview with the hub owners, you know, because I guess they had switched over brand new owners or whatnot, and I like the way he interviews. He gets deep in there, and you can tell there's points where he hits where he is not like he don't be disrespectful, but he don't back down off his beliefs either. And I, you know, that right there is why I respect watching him, because you know I have watched a few interviews here, there over the past year or so, and I didn't know who he was, and then I started seeing who he was, and I was like, okay, you know, like yeah, I'm a fan, I'm gonna watch it. So, you know, I don't just make content, I watch people. You know, I'm a fan too as well. So I'll give you a clip of what he was talking, what that looked like here in just a second.
Were you aware that these kinds of things was happening on Pornhub?
On Pornhub, I mean, these are things that we're not really, unfortunately, able to talk about, because these are about ongoing litigation.
So
No, we're in a
We're not
democracy.
worried
Are you a man of faith?
I am a man of faith.
Are you ever conflicted?
What a ridiculously insecure method, and totally violating
you know what it is?
of the privacy of
Because
130 million people a day.
It's sounding confusing, Rob. What my ask is, because I feel like I'm delusional right now. Do you understand what I'm requesting?
I do.
It has found child pornography outside of the protections of First Amendment of the United States. So child pornography is outside of U.S. Jurisdiction. Federal sentencing guidelines on child pornography. Okay. U.S. laws distinguish between pornography and images of the actual minor realistic images that are not actual non-realistic images. The latter two categories. Child pornography first became illegal, strange to say this, the year I was born, 78. I'm surprised it wasn't before that. With the enactment of the Protection of Children Against Sexual Exploitation of 1977, before the law of 1978, child pornography was illegal in only 2 states. The 1978 law was subsequently strengthened in 84 with the passage of the Child Protection Act. It was a goal of the Reagan administration to crack down on child pornography, with then President Reagan stating the following in 87: the administration is putting the purveyors of illegal obscenity and child pornography on notice. Your industry's days are numbered. Okay. Got 238 million users. Okay. generates a yearly revenue of $2.5 billion. And Black China, don't know who that is, was the highest paid OnlyFans creator in 2023, earning approximately, 20 million monthly with a subscription price, $19.99. OnlyFans has a monthly.
Are you considering a career change? I'm
Not
seeing
at
it
all.
on your face here.
No. But you know what the difference is? Here's what the difference is. The OnlyFans process is what? Is 18 and up, right? It's very, you're 18 and up, you want to do it, and there is no millions of petitions to want to shut down OnlyFans. I'm 18 years old. So my only concern with Pornhub in this sense is underage. That's the difference why maybe there's not 2.5 million people trying to shut down Pornhub versus trying to shut down, 2.5 million trying to shut down Pornhub versus OnlyFans.
Go toe to toe when it comes to trust and safety between us and OnlyFans. In fact, just so you understand, like.
So you see what he's saying there, PBD. He talking about, you know what, and he said the only issue in the sense is the underage, which I'm pretty sure, you know, you got other moral issues, but at the same time too, though, you know, you're grown, you're gonna do what you're gonna do. You have the right to do that. It is what it is. But the children, we supposed to watch out for the children, you know. And then at the same time, you have other people, man, that porn is an addiction to them. So, you know, you gotta find a way. It's like an alcoholic walking into a bar and you just slamming drinks. You know, you putting drinks down their throat. But the problem is now the alcoholic leave the bar, and then everywhere you go, you see the alcohol, and the alcohol's right in front of them. And then they give the alcohol to your children. So it's one thing to even mess with you, but to mess with the children, that's a whole nother issue. And then it cracked me up at the beginning of that clip, because you see how he started naming the numbers, and old boy talking about, oh yeah, you thinking about a career change, is you? Because that's how they mind thing, you know what I'm saying? That's how they mind thing. You know, it's all about the money. Like, yeah, man, I see that money. You know, that's what it's all about. And you heard me, people. You can hear it in his voice, like, nah, boy. And you ain't got to worry. People need, he ain't hurting. He got money. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with being a person with moral standards. And God will still bless you. You don't have to be poor just to have moral standards. You know, you got many people with moral standards that have financial stability. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when you make it all about the money, because that's what you can hear it in his tone. That's all it's about for him. It's the money, you know. And I met people like that. And I remember my days when I was younger, and I was out there, you know, stuck in the streets. I remember at one point when I kind of realized that, you know what, I wouldn't always be out there in the streets, because I heard the enemy speak to me one day in a certain situation. I won't speak about the whole situation, but in a certain situation, and I heard the phrase come out, you know what, oh yeah, you know, I know this is what you love, while our boy got $100 bill flashing in my face, as if that's the way you was gonna control me. But that's when I realized that money didn't mean nothing to me. And I'm gonna be wrong, I hustle a dollar here and there, and it took me a long while to move around, but that money don't mean nothing to me like that. I want to build it now on a decent foundation. Perfect, I'm not, but I want to build it on a solid foundation. So then whatever I build from this point on last and withstand the storm. Build it on the rock. But you can hear it as they go back and forth, you know. And like I said, I'm gonna leave all the links in the descriptions to all these videos and everything, so you can go watch these whole episodes and everything as you want. And you can hear it through the whole interview though as they go. That, you know, he keeps it professional, but he holds his ground. And I won't tell you, there's another video he did, another interview that PBD did at one point that made me respect him a whole lot, because I seen the way he was speaking about God, and you could see that it almost hit him. It hit him. And that, I understand. I'm not perfect, but I understand. But yeah, we're gonna move forward and let you check out a little bit more.
In terms of the
if you're friends with me or your family with me, my family and people who have been in business with me, they're like, this is how we have lunch every day. So it's just a conversation. So Brazzers, okay, everything is shot professionally. Everything goes through I'm assuming like, hey, you have to show me your HIV test that you just did, that you don't have any sexual transmitted. I'm assuming it's that level of professionalism, similar to Vivid or some of the other guys that do it. Yes, is that what Brazzers is?
Correct. But
okay.
what I'm trying to impart here is that this is the model that is being adopted because, like Saul said, the creator at home industry has collided with the professional. And we're seeing this across the board, right? Across all types of entertainment systems, right? Where you could say arguably that people that are creating YouTube programming at home, very similar to someone that's watching a morning show, right?
Yeah, like there's a big difference though. I mean, that's different though, because YouTube programming at home,
mm-hmm.
I'm not showing penetration, and I'm not getting out there and saying, hey, you know, we're going to do this. And, you know, no, I'm sitting there giving my opinion on something. And then if it's...
Oh, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah,
but
there's a big difference between the two.
There is. But because this is an industry that, you know, is under a lot of scrutiny, understandably so for the reasons exactly that you mentioned, these are protocols that people are adopting at home as well. When they're like, these are not... I think it's really important to get away from the idea that it's just someone with like a webcam that wants to, you know, throw something up.
So this woman right here, I mean, I'm pretty sure she get paid very well. And if you watch the interview, she's actually been with Pornhub for many, many years. I want to say it was like 12 years or something like that. I forgot the exact number. But you can watch the whole thing and you'll see the whole link on, you know, you see her whole thing on there. She was there before the guy who actually owns it now was there, you know. But and worked her way up through the ranks. But she tried to compare it to, you know, making porn to like, you know, what I'm doing right now, you know. We sitting at home, we making it, you know, or whatever. But at the same time too though, that's crazy. That's crazy. And I like his reaction to it. I really do. I like his reaction to it. Like, nah, that's not the same thing. You're not gonna sit there and try to play me and try to act like, oh, you know, it's the same type of situation. And then she talking about, oh, well, they take the same protocols. No. Maybe in the professional settings or whatnot, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there making homemade porn videos that ain't sitting there talking about, hey, I need all your background check, I need your IDs, and they're throwing the videos up there. You know, so, and everybody know Pornhub now. You know, there was a time when you didn't, but everybody know the name now. At some point in time in your life, you can click on there once or twice, you know what I'm saying? You can lie and act like you're perfect. I dare you. But, you know, none of us perfect. It's okay. You know, you can change. We all can change. God can change you. If you don't believe God can change you, then you don't believe. I mean, that's just all there is to it. But she cracked me up, though. She's real good, and I bet she really get paid very well to come out there and defend this company. And, but in PBD still keeps it professional, and he moves forward, and then, you know, they're going to continue on.
Looks like a porn star. Look at that.
I think they all look like porn stars.
But anyways, but the point being is the fact that there is a difference between you want to do your thing, you're above 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You want to mess with kids, I have a problem with that.
And
if we can find a way to be responsible with
100%.
that in the best possible way, it is what it is. Go ahead.
I agree.
Yeah, so you see how he go right at it, and he tell him, you know, like, you know, you want to be in the porn industry, it is what it is. I mean, if you're grown, you're grown. You do what you do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, who am I to judge? You know, I mean, I'll tell you don't do it. I would be the one to tell you don't do it. You know, even back in the day when I was running around and doing my thing, and I be that nigga smoking blunts and shit and all that, I would still tell you, man, what we doing is bad. So, you know, I would tell you don't do it. But you're grown, you're grown. The whole main issue with all these, you know, with this and the Ted Cruz thing, the whole thing is about the children. And there's a whole society out there that's crazy right now, because it's like there's a world of people that don't care about the children. They, you know, and I don't know if they care about their own, but they definitely look at others' children as if they don't mean nothing. So, you know, that's kind of crazy. And then PBD, he did do another interview with the lady who actually, with one of the ladies, I don't know if she's the main lady, but the lady who actually started the petitions against Pornhub to get them shut down. Because, and she even says it in an interview, And I'm not going to leave the link to that one. I'm not putting that one on there. Y'all can go ahead and go look through that and look for yourselves. But she had actually went through there and said that, what is it? She said that, you know what, they're not even worried about taking out the porn industry because it is what it is. But they're worried about they will go after Pornhub because I guess evidently Pornhub has been a hub for multiple children incidences since the opening of it, you know what I mean? And you know what, you go look into the history of it, if you actually watch the whole interview that he does, they talk about it too, how they switch owners, and it's like it's kind of like one of those dice cup game things, you know. It's kind of crazy to me because, you know, so this owner gets in trouble, they sell the company, but the company don't go nowhere and don't disappear. They sell it again, sell it again, sell it again. Like, honestly, watching this interview with him actually kind of makes you be like, you know what, man, even if you do have an itch for it, I don't think I'm gonna look at none of this. Like, I need to stop watching and just start cleaning myself up, you know, because like that's crazy. That's crazy. Because you don't even know what you be looking at. You gotta be careful. But there it is. It's kind of a sickening feeling to start learning these things that, you know what, it wasn't illegal for so many years, and then all of a sudden it became illegal. I mean, think about that, 78. I mean, I was born in 81, so that was like right before I was born that it actually became illegal. You know, that's in, like, I would say within my lifetime, but like right before my lifetime, you know. So that's crazy. That's crazy. And then now you got these industries that are capitalizing on all this illegal activity, but really immoral activity that can traumatize a lot of people in this world. So, you know, you got to be careful out here. You got to truly be careful out here. Watch your kids. Once again, I want to thank all y'all for joining us here on Humble Not Timid. Check out the merchandise we have, and I'm going to come up with some more. We're going to end up with some more designs and templates or whatnot you call it, you know, and I'll get some more stuff going after right now. I got the hoodie right now. I got the one hoodie. I got the other one on there. Hopefully it'll get on there properly. But I got some candles and things like that going on, you know. I like candles. I like they smell good. We like that, especially around holidays. We need that holiday smell going on. But check it out. Show your love, show your support, and we appreciate everything y'all do for us, and we're going to keep on doing what we can for y'all. God bless you. Good night. Have a happy Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. If I don't see y'all before the New Year's, God bless you. But you will see me.
Can't get mad at me, player, but they ain't taking my place. And I'm a misbreed, homie, so they hate my race. Or maybe I'm just ugly, so they hate my face. Either way it go, homie, take the hating away. Now I'm suited in my armor and I'm just ready to play. So now put me in coach, cause I'm just ready to play. See, I told y'all I